Hi FlossTube, I'm Annie and I am the Proper Stitcher and welcome to episode 103. If this is your first time joining me, I am so glad you stopped by today. This is a channel where I like to talk about cross stitch, sometimes quilting, and hopefully give you inspiration to fully finish your projects. And if you are returning, thank you so much for your continued support, all of your wonderful comments. I appreciate each and every one of you. So today is Saturday. I'm coming to you a few days late. It's been a very busy week around here. We've had some things going on at home and getting everyone ready for back to school sort of things. It's really hard to imagine that Gray will be returning to college in 2 weeks. So trying to get her things organized and together and ordered and everything that she will need to go back to school. It's just hard to believe that the summer is coming to an end. And then Tristan starts school a week after next. So getting him ready for school. This will be his senior year. So that's hard to believe. I just can't believe that he's going to be a senior. His senior photos are Tuesday. So we are just anxious to get all of these back to school things over with so we can just kind of relax a little bit before school starts. So I hope you all have had a great week. I have gotten a little bit of stitching done on my whips, but I have been working very hard, very diligently, and working a lot on some new releases that I will have coming to you at the end of the month. So August the 25th through August the 28th is an online needlework market called Needlework Marketplace, and it is hosted by Stitching Bits and Bobs, and that is a wholesale online market for shop owners, for local needlework stores, for online needlework stores to go and order upcoming new releases for the fall. So I have 4 new releases that will be coming to you at the end of the month. 3 of them are at the framers right now, so I do not have them to share to give you sneak peeks. I did post 1 sneak peek yesterday on Instagram and on my Facebook page, but I'm really excited. I will have 3 Halloween designs and 1 non-seasonal design to release at the end of this month. They are all original. There are no reproduction samplers that will be released this month, but don't worry, I have some of those in the works too. So look forward to those. Thank you all so much for your continued words of encouragement, for all the floss tubers who have been sharing my patterns, for all of you who are stitching my patterns and sharing them on social media. I really appreciate it. It makes me so happy and just proud to see that my patterns are out there and that you all are enjoying them. So thank you so much for all of your support. So in today's episode, I have some whips to go over, just 3 whips to share with you from my whip basket. And we have giveaways from last week and new giveaways for this week. I did not get any haul to share, just some floss to work on my patterns that I've been stitching. So other than that, this is going to be a pretty quick video. So let's just jump right in, grab a pen and paper, grab your favorite beverage, and grab your cross stitching, and let's get started. So first, I would like to show you my progress on the Floral Motif sampler. This is one that I did not get to work on that much this week, just worked on 1 motif because one of the patterns that I stitched this week took a lot of my time. I really wanted to get those patterns done and get them to the framers so I can get them back in time for the end of the month. So that consumed a lot of my stitching time this week, but I did work a little bit on the Scarlet House Floral Motif Sampler. This one is one of those, it's like a good book. I know I'm going to be sad when I'm finished with it because I enjoy stitching on this so much. It is a combination of the fabric I'm using, it's a combination of the colors. I'm just really enjoying this one, and I know it's going to be hard to give her up. But this is the Floral Motif Sampler by the Scarlet House. And this week I worked on this motif here. So this one motif, the colors for this one, it's pomegranate is the kind of pinkish red, and cucumber is the green. And those are both Gentle Arts floss. So this is being stitched on 40 count mallow by, I think it's Picture This Plus, 40 count. And I am using all of the called for floss, which is, most of it is Gentle Arts. And I'm using 1 strand of floss over 2. And so this is the entire piece. So as you can see, I am now on this side. This is where I am working. So on this side, I just have one more motif here, and then I'll just work my way the lower portion to the middle. So here is a close-up of all of those motifs. And I really enjoy this one a lot. So much fun. But again, this is the one I worked on this week. It's not a big one, but it took me maybe 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. So that is my progress on this one. And I love it. It is still available. It is a pattern that you can still get. And I highly recommend it. Even if you don't want to do the whole pattern, you can pull a few motifs out and make smalls with them. My next whip that I worked on this week was Hello from Liz Matthews. She and Kathy Barrick just posted a new FlossTube. I'll link it below, but it's just giving you an up-close images or up-close showing you Kathy Barrick's new releases from a few months ago. So she's calling them her newish releases, but I really enjoyed watching that episode because I love all things Liz Matthews and all things Kathy Barrick, but it was so much fun to see and hear all of the information about her new patterns that she released. But this week I worked on Baskets and Butterflies from Hello from Liz Matthews. This was my birthday start. So I started this on April 25th. And I am using the called for floss, which is Silk Gloriana Northern Lights. And then this is my progress. Oh, I can't wait to get this one done. But I worked on this branch right here and got that one finished. That took me a whole evening, this whole piece. So now that I have that one done, I can now work on the middle flower there. So pretty. So I am stitching this on 36 count Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim. I'm using 1 strand of floss and I'm stitching it over 2 threads of linen. So pretty. I love that border. Such an easy stitch, and you can stitch it in any color you want. Some people have messaged me that they're stitching it in green or yellow or pink. Of course, I'm stitching it in blue, and it is a fun stitch. And you can stitch it in DMC. You don't have to use the silk. The silk gives it that nice velvety texture, but the DMC conversion, if you like that blue, is 311. Liz put that on the back of her pattern. She stitched her model on 36 count biscotti from Color and Cotton, but I'm using the 36 count Cream and Sugar from Fiber on a Whim. So that has been so much fun to stitch. And then my third whip from this week is a stitch along that I am co-hosting with Zan, who is Crazy Band Stitch Lady, and Tammy Blaylock, who is Creative Country Girl. And this is the stitch along we're doing. It is Heart and Hand, Birds and the Bees. And this is an older pattern. This one is from, I think, 2017. And I just love stitching bees, and I really enjoy Heart and Hand. I really enjoy stitching all of her patterns. So if you would like to join us on this stitch along, we are using the hashtag the birds and the bees Sal. So here is my progress. This we started August 1st, and with any stitch along, stitch what you can, stitch when you can, start when you want. There are no rules. It is completely up to you. But this is my start on August the 1st, and I started in the upper corner. And that is the letter B, and it's right here, right there. And I am using all the called for floss, and I am stitching this on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha, and I'm using 2 strands of floss over 2. So this will be hopefully a quick stitch. A lot of it is just the words, and the words say, bless the flowers and the weeds, all the birds and the buzzing bees. So hopefully it'll be a pretty quick stitch. And I think I have a frame in my stash that I'll end up finishing it on. Such a cute pattern, and I just love all the flowers. And this even comes with a couple of a little baggie of beads. So the beads go on I believe on some of the flowers. They're the center on some of the flowers. Really pretty colors, the blues, the pinks, the yellows. It's going to be a lot of fun. So the birds and the bees, Sal, Heart and Hand Designs. If you would like to join us, we'd love to see your progress. Tag us on Instagram and use that hashtag so we can find it if you're stitching it. So those are all of my whips. Like I said, I wish I could share with you the other things I've been working on, but I will be able to soon. I think starting next week, I can start sharing with you some of the new releases that I'll have coming out at the end of the month. There is a new designer that messaged me the other day. Her name is April Jackson, and she wanted to ask me questions about how to get your patterns out there, how to start producing patterns, opening an Etsy store, all those kinds of things, because I do believe that it is so good to pay it forward and to help other people who want to venture into anything new. And if I have the information, I am willing to share it with you because so many people have helped me. But April and her daughter have started designing patterns, and they have an Etsy store. Their Etsy store is called Crafty Bluebonnet Shop, and I'll link it below. But what they do is they create these adorable, and I printed some photos just to share with you. They create these adorable spools, like spools of thread, and they customize them or design them for themes. So these look like winter and Christmas. Here's one with a sunflower on it, and a candy corn. And then this one is just a gingham. This one is called Pumpkin Plaid Spool. Super cute. Sweet little quick stitches, just wonderful creative ideas. It is April and her daughter that are creating those patterns. So I will link her shop below. They do not have a FlossTube. Maybe one day they'll start one, but they do not have a FlossTube. But I think that they have such a unique idea for their designs. So go and check out Crafty Bluebonnet Shop on Etsy and see what you think. I think they're adorable. But let's jump into our giveaways for this week. I am behind on my giveaways from last week, so I've gotten your emails. I will get your prizes out to you as soon as I can, probably by Monday, and then we'll get caught up on those. So you know, it's just one of those things right now. I'm just trying to get everybody organized, so I will get myself organized too. Okay, so last week I asked you all to share with me what is your favorite season to stitch, and I loved reading all of your responses. I like to stitch any season, but I really enjoy stitching Christmas. So that's my favorite, but I like to stitch everything. So it was nice to read all of your comments and get kind of a feel of what y'all like to stitch. So let's go into what you all won last week. Here's how it works to enter my giveaways. Be a subscriber, like the video, and answer the question below and list the number that you would like to be entered to win. I ship anywhere that the U.S. Postal Service will ship, so there are no restrictions on where you live. I will ship internationally. So let's go into the giveaways from last week. Last week we had, let me see if I can find them. Okay, so last week we had, 10 giveaways. Sorry, they're all right in front of me. Okay, last week we had 10 giveaways. So the first one was a choice of a PDF download or mailed copy, hard copy of my Clarissa's Garden Sampler. And this is one of my patterns. And the three of you who won, we have Lollipop C and Heartland Stitcher and Linda Morse, M-O-R-S-E. The second one was either a PDF download or hard copy of Zeres Andrews. And we have Deborah Ruffing, Patty Wynn, or Y-N, W-Y-A-N, and Charles Fickus, S-H-A-R-Y-L, Fickus, F-I-C-K-A-S. The third one we have is my When Flowers Bloom 1830. This goes to Carolyn Trojan, Vicki Maloney, and Deborah Brown. The fourth, number 4, Caroline Carter, 1823. This goes to Catherine Bowles, B-O-L-E-S, Mary Myers, and Betsy Cole, K-O-H-L. Number 5 is Lady Claus by It's So Emma. This goes to Cindy Essler. Number 6 is Fall is in the Air. This goes to Marlene Zagar, Z-A-G-A-R. Number 7 is Calendar Crates August from Stitching with the Housewives. This goes to Renea, R-E-N-E-A, Yarlim, Y-A-R-O-L-I-M. Colorado Cross Stitcher Snowman Collection. This goes to M80 Watson. M80 Watson. Number 9 is Blackbird Designs Glad Tidings. This goes to Betty Epling. Betty Epling. And number 10, The Needleworker. This goes to Carmen Taylor. Carmen Taylor. If I called your name, please email me at theproperstitcher@gmail.com and tell me your name, what you won, and give me your address, and I'll get those in the mail to you. Or if you would like the PDF download of my patterns, I will get those to you immediately. So thank you so much for entering to win. And thank you to all the shop owners who have reached out to me to carry some of my patterns. This past week, Sassy Jack Stitchery reached out to me. She is now carrying my patterns. And then Johnson City's Cross Stitch and Crafts has my patterns, Stitch Etc. Some online shops, Garon Stitchery has all of my patterns. So just I'll list all the shops below, and you can get these kitted up too at their shops if you would like to go ahead and get started stitching. Okay, this week, let's go into our giveaways for this week. So what I would like to know is, what do you like to stitch on? Are you an Ada stitcher? You're a linen stitcher? What count do you like to stitch on? Do you have a favorite linen or a fabric that you go to, just all things fabric for your stitching? What do you like to stitch on? Some of you have reached out to me, and you've messaged about thanking me that the samplers are smaller in size that I have designed so that it's easier for you to stitch. That was my intention. My intention is to, no matter what fabric or fabric you stitch on, my patterns will accommodate that fabric. There will be sometimes, yes, I may have some specialty stitches, but for the most part, they're going to just be simple cross stitches and very few specialty stitches. And so hopefully that will help those of you who like to stitch on Ada and not have to worry about those specialty stitches. But that may not always be the case, but for the most part, it will be. So thank you for messaging me on that. And yes, a lot of you did notice when I did my craft room tour that I said that I would be reproducing the sampler, the bouquet of flowers, and that will come to you probably next spring or summer. So that is one that I will definitely work on. It is a favorite of mine, and it is definitely one that I get asked about the most. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. Okay, so let's go into this week's giveaways. So this week, just answer that question. What fabric do you like to stitch on? What count? If there's a specific color that you always like to use, I'm curious. I mix up my fabric. I do a range from 28 count, 32 count, 36 count, 40 count. Very rarely do I go higher than 40 count. My favorite to stitch on is 36 and 40. I like the way it looks with my stitching, but sometimes 32 and 28 is just what the pattern requires or accommodates the pattern the best. So I believe that we should all stitch on what makes us happy. We should stitch on what we like, what we enjoy, and there's fabric out there for everyone. And so I think that you stitch what you want and stitch on what you want. So, okay, so this week, answer that question below and list the number that you would like to be entered to win. We have number 1 is either a PDF or a hard copy of Caroline Carter, 1823. Number 2 is PDF or hard copy of Zeresh Andrews, 1789. That's number 2. Number 3 is When Flowers Bloom, 1830, either a hard copy or a PDF copy. And number 4 is Clarissa's Garden Sampler. This is number 4, a hard copy or a PDF copy. And then the next 4 are from Bonnie with the Nebby Needle. Thank you, Bonnie. This is Spring Sampler. This is number 5. Number 6 is Mustard Seed. Number 7 is her Farm Life Sampler. Number 8 is I Must Have Flowers. Number 8. Number 9 is My Quaker Box Top Year. And then number 10 is from Thread Milk Designs. This is Liberty Lodge. That is number 10. So like the video, subscribe to my channel, answer below, and we'll have that drawing next week. So thank you all so much for watching this week. I hope you get some fabulous stitching time in. I will be working on my last Halloween pattern that will go to the framers. Hopefully Monday or Tuesday is when I can turn that in, so I can have it back in time. And other than that, I'm going to try to make some progress on my other whips that are in my stash. But hopefully you all have a great week, get some wonderful stitching time in, and I will see you soon.